At 3 in the afternoon on a Wednesday in March, the engineer's younger brother is sitting on the floor of a rented dance studio in Bushwick, Brooklyn. His back is against the mirror. His phone is face down beside him. He is 32 years old and has lived in the United States for 8 years. He came on a student visa to complete an MFA in dance and choreography at New York University. After graduation, he remained through optional practical training. When that ended, he moved to an O1 visa for people with extraordinary ability. His attorney built the petition around 2 reviews in the New York Times, a residency at the Park Avenue Armory, and other professional work. He is now 3 years into that visa. The renewal is due in October. The studio is rented by the hour. He has it until 4. For the past hour, he has been working on choreography for a contemporary dance company in Berlin. The commission will pay him $8,000 over 6 months. It is the largest fee he has received for a single project. He has repeated the same section 43 times. He is now sitting on the floor because his right knee hurts and because he has a missed call from his mother in Nigeria. He knows why she called. The household is preparing for his older sister's daughter's wedding in December. The family is collecting money from relatives abroad. His older brother in Houston has already agreed to contribute. The brother's wife has also committed money to her own family's expenses. The younger brother has been asked twice to confirm his share. The amount expected from him is $6,000. He does not have it. He could borrow the money, cancel work commitments, or use money he needs for rent and other expenses. The Berlin Commission would eventually cover the amount. The full payment will not arrive until months after the wedding. The younger brother, the studio, the commission, and the family described here are composites. The details come from experiences common among working artists across African and other migrant communities. No single person is being portrayed. The previous episodes followed migrants whose jobs produce regular income that families at home can depend on. This episode follows the migrant whose profession does not provide that kind of income. The conflict is often expressed as a disagreement about respect, responsibility, or family loyalty. Money is at the center of it. The household needs a child whose work can support more than one person. The artist has chosen a profession that may struggle to support even the person doing it. The family understands this risk. That is why many families discourage children from entering the arts. The labor market figures support their concern. According to United States employment data, dancers earn a median hourly wage of about $24. That figure does not represent a normal full-time salary. Most dancers do not work 40 paid hours each week throughout the year. They may be paid for rehearsals and performances while receiving nothing for the time spent training, auditioning, applying for grants, creating work, or searching for the next contract. Recent arts data place average annual earnings for dancers and choreographers at roughly $33,000. Musicians and singers may earn higher hourly rates, but they face the same problem. Paid work is irregular. A musician may rehearse without pay, purchase equipment, travel to performances, teach lessons, and work another job between contracts. Writers face a similar gap between public perception and actual income. Government wage figures for writers and authors are raised by a small number of highly paid people working in commercial publishing, advertising, technical writing, television, and other salaried positions. The Authors Guild found that full-time book authors earned a median of about $20,300 from book-related work. For full-time literary fiction writers, the median was about $14,565. That is less than 1/3 of the median wage for all workers in the United States. Visual artists also carry costs that wage statistics do not show clearly. They pay for materials, studio space, shipping, framing, documentation, applications, travel, and exhibition expenses. Many artists earn income from teaching, hospitality, administration, design, retail, or other work that supports the art without appearing as part of the art career. The family at home may see the grant, residency, exhibition, review, or commission. It may not see the second job, the credit card balance, the unpaid rehearsal hours, or the rent shared with several roommates. The same pattern appears in the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and much of Western Europe. Working artists generally earn less than people in medicine, engineering, law, finance, technology, and other professions families often consider secure. The household is therefore responding to a real economic problem. The disagreement begins when the artist decides that financial security cannot be the only measure used to choose a life. Three conditions make the problem especially difficult for migrant artists. The first is immigration law. Most visa systems are designed around stable employment. A worker with a regular salary, a formal employer, and a clearly defined occupation fits more easily into these systems than someone moving between commissions, performances, residencies, exhibitions, and teaching contracts. The United States has the O1 visa for people with extraordinary ability. The United Kingdom has the Global Talent Visa. Canada and Australia include some artists within skilled migration programs. These routes usually require evidence of significant achievement. An artist may need major reviews, awards, exhibitions, publications, performances, institutional support, or proof of international recognition. Early career artists often do not yet have that record. Many therefore enter through student visas, family sponsorship, or unrelated employment and continue making art around the job that provides legal status. The immigration system may require the artist to appear professionally established before the artist has been allowed enough stability to become established. The second condition is academic employment. Many artists support themselves by teaching at colleges and universities. That path once offered a more reliable middle-class income. It now depends heavily on temporary and part-time labor. Most instructional positions in American higher education are outside the tenure track. Adjunct instructors may be paid by the course with no guarantee of work the following semester. They may receive limited health insurance, no retirement contribution, and little support for their own creative work. An artist may teach at several institutions, spend hours traveling between campuses, and still earn less than a full-time worker in another field. For migrant artists, the problem is even greater because temporary teaching may not provide the stable employment needed for immigration, housing, healthcare, or long-term planning. The third condition is public arts funding. The National Endowment for the Arts supports projects across the entire United States with a budget that is small relative to the size of the country and the number of artists working within it. Arts Council England, the Canada Council for the Arts, and similar institutions provide important support, but demand greatly exceeds available funding. Artists spend large amounts of unpaid time preparing applications. Most applications are rejected. A grant may support one project without providing a stable income for the artist who created it. Public arts funding in the United States is especially limited compared with countries such as Germany, France, Sweden, and Norway. The artist in Brooklyn is therefore working inside several forms of uncertainty at once. His income is irregular. His visa depends on continued professional evidence. His body is part of his work. His family expects a contribution based on the assumption that living in the United States means earning in dollars. The family does not fully understand why an artist with reviews, residencies, and an international commission cannot produce $6,000 when asked. The artist does not fully understand how to explain that professional recognition and financial stability are not the same thing. This conflict has a long history. One of the clearest Nigerian examples is Fela Kuti. Fela was born in Abeokuta in 1938. His mother, Funmilayo Ransom Kuti, was a major political organizer and anti-colonial activist. His father, Reverend Israel Ransom Kuti, was a school principal, minister, and the first president of the Nigeria Union of Teachers. His brothers, Beko and Olikoye, became prominent doctors. The family expected Fela to follow a similar professional path. He was sent to London in 1958 to study medicine. Instead, he enrolled at Trinity College of Music. He studied trumpet, formed a band, and began the work that would eventually become Afrobeat. From the family's perspective, money had been spent to send a son abroad for medical education. The son used that opportunity to pursue music. The decision was not simply artistic. It changed the expected return on the family's investment. Fela later became one of the most important musicians of the 20th century. That success did not erase the original conflict. The family's concern about medicine, respectability, income, and responsibility continued alongside his musical career. The case became famous because Fela became famous. Many other artists make the same choice without ever reaching that level of recognition. The Nigerian literary tradition contains similar examples. Chinua Achebe entered University College, Ibadan, with an initial path toward medicine. He later changed to English, history, and theology. That decision eventually produced Things Fall Apart. Wole Soyinka pursued literature and theater through university study in Nigeria and Britain and became the first African recipient of the Nobel Prize in Literature. These careers are now treated as evidence of Nigerian cultural achievement. At the beginning, neither path offered the kind of certainty a household could easily plan around. Buchi Emecheta wrote, while raising 5 children in London, her work often examined the economic pressure placed on women, migrants, and writers. She built a major literary career under conditions that gave her very little financial protection. Sefiata has written about Nigerian middle-class daughters, education, work, marriage, and vocation. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has spoken about the support she received from parents who were themselves academics. That support mattered. A household that already understands intellectual or creative work may be more willing to accept the uncertainty involved. Many households do not have that history. Their caution is shaped by what they know survival requires. Akweke Emezi has written publicly about conflict involving family, gender, identity, religion, and artistic life. Helen Oyeyemi began publishing very young and developed a career across Britain and Europe. Hetty Nagapa worked as an international trade lawyer for years while also writing fiction. Her life shows one common solution to the conflict. The person keeps the profession the family accepts while developing the artistic vocation alongside it. Many artists live this double life for years. Some never leave the secure profession. Others leave only after the art begins producing enough income to make the risk survivable. The conflict appears across many diasporas. Jhumpa Lahiri has written about Bengali American families and the professions, marriages, and lives they expect their children to choose. Mira Jacob has written about Indian American family expectations through fiction and memoir. Hari Kondabolu has discussed the pressures surrounding race, representation, comedy, and family. Ocean Vuong has written about migration, language, poverty, sexuality, and the relationship between an artist and the mother whose labor made the artist's life possible. Jamaica Kincaid has written directly about the conflict between her life as a writer in the United States and her relationship with her mother in Antigua. The visual arts contain the same tension. Yinka Shonibare built an international career through work about colonialism, class, and cultural identity. Wange Chimutu, Njideka Akunyili Crosby, and Toyin Oji Odutola have built major careers across African and American institutions. Their public success can make the path appear more financially secure than it is for most artists. For every artist whose work enters a major museum or sells at auction, many others work for years without regular income, health insurance, stable housing, or long-term savings. Dance carries the problem in a particularly physical form. Jermaine Akogni built one of the most important institutions for contemporary African dance in Senegal. Bill T. Jones sustained a company and artistic practice across several decades in the United States. Akram Khan built a career combining Kathak and contemporary dance. Reggie Wilson, Sidi Larbi Cherkawi, and Akash Odedra have also developed important work across diasporic and international contexts. These careers required artistic ability. They also required institutions, presenters, funders, visas, collaborators, touring networks, and years of physical labor. The dancer's body remains part of the economic risk. An injury can cancel work immediately. The artist in Brooklyn is already feeling pain in his right knee. He cannot separate that knee from the commission, the visa renewal, the rent, or the family's requests. The family veto often comes from fear. Parents may believe that discouraging the arts is a way of protecting the child from poverty. They may have struggled to pay for education and migration. They may see medicine, law, engineering, finance, or technology as professions that can justify the sacrifice. The arts appear uncertain and difficult to explain. The family may also know that it will eventually need financial help from the child. A profession that cannot support remittances threatens the household's own future. The veto can therefore contain care and control at the same time. The family may be correct about the hardship. The artist may still be correct that refusing the vocation would create another kind of loss. At 3:45, the younger brother picks up his phone and returns his mother's call. She answers on the second ring. She begins by asking whether he has eaten. She asks about his knee. She heard about the pain from his brother's wife in Houston. He tells her that he has eaten and that the knee is still hurting. She asks whether he is in the studio. He says the rental ends at 4. For the first 11 minutes, they do not discuss the wedding money. Then his mother mentions that his older sister has confirmed the reception menu. The caterer needs a deposit by the end of the month. She does not mention $6,000. She does not need to. He says he is working on it. He does not explain how. He does not mention that the Berlin Commission will pay too late. He does not mention that he is considering using a credit card. He does not mention that he may ask his brother in Houston for a loan. His mother says she understands. She says she is praying for him. She says she will tell his sister that he is making arrangements. The call ends at 4. He locks the studio and walks down 4 flights of stairs. He takes the L train home. He shares an apartment with 2 dancers and a graphic designer. He arrives shortly before 5 and sits on his bed for 40 minutes before making dinner. I know this conflict. I know what it is to choose a field that the family does not understand as financially useful. I know what it is to produce work that receives professional recognition while still being unable to meet the amount being requested at home. I know what it is to hear concern expressed as criticism and criticism expressed as concern. I also know the position of the relative with the stable profession. That person may admire the artist and still feel frustrated when the artist cannot contribute. The engineer may become the one who pays because the dancer cannot. The dancer may become the one whose work gives the family pride, while another sibling absorbs the financial responsibility. Both may carry resentment toward the other. Neither may say it directly. This conflict existed before migration. Families have long tried to direct children toward work that can support the household. Migration increases the amount involved. The child is now earning in dollars, pounds, or euros. The family may assume that foreign currency has removed the problem. For many artists, it has only changed the currency in which the problem is calculated. The next episode follows the migrant who decides to stop participating in the system altogether. It examines the cycle breaker, the freedom that refusal can create, and the relationships that refusal can end.